going on, guys? Kensou here, back again, brand new video. You already know what time it is. More Guilty Gear Strive footage. Thanks to the awesome people at GameSpot for providing this footage from the developers at Arc System Works, showing us some brand new special moves, brand new supers, and Kai's Dragon install. Can you imagine Axl with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure references? Time stop? Also, this is the first time we get to see Zato 1 in action. It is about time. We haven't seen him get played at all. But now you get to see it for the very first time here. And again, once again, thank you so much to the people at GameSpot for giving us this footage. So let's just get right to it and let's talk about this, shall we?
Hey y'all, we got some more exclusive high-level Guilty Gear Strive gameplay from the development team for you to check out. In these 3 clips, you'll get to watch Soul Bad Guy, Kai Kisuke, and Axl Low in action. Get a glimpse of brand new moves for all 3 of them, including Kai Kisuke's Dragon install, Axl Low's One Vision, and Soul Bad Guy's Heavy Mob Cemetery.
So you can already
for
tell
all 3 of these moves and what they do will be in our description below.
You know, once again,
if you enjoy high-level Guilty Gear Strive gameplay like we do, then you should hit that like and subscribe button.
Zato's
now let's
normals
rock.
are still looking pretty normal. This looks brand new. This is looking like jumping heavy or jumping slash. It's a pretty crazy looking move. But prior to that, you can kind of see already there's a lot of staple buttons here from Zato. So his down
Bad Guy's Heavy Mob Cemetery.
His down punch.
Inputs for all 3 of these
2P,
moves,
if you will, if you're in the know.
And what they do
right here, boom. This is his standard poke. This is what he normally uses in pretty much all the games, looking like it's still intact. It's a pretty annoying poke, by the way. It's looking pretty normal. And what this looks like here is Summon P. So quarter circle forward punch. It looks exactly, this is what I had, if I had to guess, this is the first summon we get to see from him. And it looks like the punch summon. So if you didn't know about Zato, if you use quarter circle forward, punch, kick, slash, and hard slash, they all do something different. Punch normally is a peck type attack, something kind of like to annoy the opponent. The kick button in the previous games was a buzzsaw. In Accent Core, it's another move where basically Eddie, the monster here, his name is actually Eddie, believe it or not, he would dig underground and like kind of reel you in. And the slash button was always an anti-air in all the games. And the heavy slash summon was empty summon. So basically he would just come out and he would do nothing. And you can control him at that point. So they all had their different uses and they all kind of pertain towards pressure based on like, you know, what was going on with the character at the time. So if you're a Zato player, then you would know, okay, maybe at this time we can use the punch summon to try to, you know, start up pressure, or we can empty summon. Each summon does take up the gauge here at the bottom. So you can see down here in the lower right hand corner. See right here where my mouse pointer is, you can see that it is he is on a gauge, and you know, each attack definitely does eat up the gauge, and they all eat up the gauge at different points. Basically, it's its own meter, if you will. So this definitely looks like the punch summon. So let's continue.
Description below. If you enjoy high-level Guilty Gear Strive gameplay,
more footage of his normals,
these moves,
specifically crouching slash is a very important normal for Zato. I'm 100% confident this is crouching slash because it's the same style of attack, hits at that same angle. So if you're familiar with Zato or not, this is basically his crouching slash animation. If you go look at any of these other crouching slash animations, it's pretty clear this is most likely what it is. So let's keep on pushing.
If you enjoy high-level Guilty Gear Strive gameplay like we do, then you should hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's rock.
Now that jumping attack looks definitely like jumping slash or jumping heavy slash. Just want to say, by the way, he looks really, really cool in this game. Man, he looks really cool. Oh! Unblockable from Axl. And now we get to see One Vision. So the input for this, even though it's 6, 3, 2, 1, 4, 6, P, it is half circle back, forward, and punch. So if you're in the scene, then you would know these inputs. But if you're not in the scene, for the inputs, it is half circle back into forward. Basically, it's an overdrive or super input. And it does cost 50 tension. So if we come back here, if we look at Axl's gauge down here in the lower left, you'll see it's activated. It costs half a bar for this. Now, what this move does is pretty unique. It basically works like a Roman cancel, but I don't know. You guys have to see it for yourself. It's pretty wicked. Here we go. Now, so here Axl uses rainwater, which is quarter circle backslash, to jump backwards in order to basically punish this move here. And it seems like the new move here, One Vision. One Vision can be used, from what it seems, to cancel special moves into this cancel. Boom. ZA WARUDO. Tick 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 tock. Damage. So I think this is gonna be a very big pivotal thing for Axl in this game. Like, he seems a lot more utility based, which is very, very cool. This is something that he needed in Xrd. It's always a shame for me to see him in the game because he is actually one of my favorite characters, low key. And I hate seeing him be in the game and not be very strong, or at least mid tier. And Xrd, he wasn't the best, that's for sure. He got a lot of cool quality of life buff, but he wasn't amazing. But this isn't about Xrd. It's about Strive. As you can already tell, Zato is looking pretty. Man, it's pretty beefy. So, right now, animation-wise, I'm already stunned at Zato. He's freaking awesome, dude. Like, but Zato's looking a lot like himself, and which is really cool. But there's something here I want to point out for you guys. This is going to be the first time we're going to see instant block, or just defend, if you will. And I do have my theories on how this works, but I will get back into the game for you guys to check this out. So let's take a look, shall we? So after this counter hit, after this burst, here's where things kind of change, right? So the first instant block, or just block, as you can see, it's going to come up here on the top left. It's going to say just. Basically means just defend, or IB, instant block, if you will. So he instant blocks. So Axl instant blocks the standing heavy slash. And then here's the summon. And there's the second part of the summon that gets instant blocked. And then he jumps away immediately. So this leads me to believe instant block is looking like it's pretty much the same, because he gets out of there even before Zato's even able to try to poke at him with crouch and kick here. And it leads me to believe that instant block is still gonna. It seems like it's still functioning the same. On the previous footage, it seemed like instant block throw was gonna be the way to punish things. And there's other portions of these matches that you're gonna see instant block kind of play a pivotal role in terms of punishing things. So let us continue, my friends. Red ass escape. One Vision again. Now here's where it gets really cool. That anti-air into One Vision. Axl bomb. Axl bomb. Kick Axl bomb. That, my friends, this is why I believe that Axl's utility is so much better this time around. I'm really happy to see that, because previously Sparrowhawk stance was like the only thing he really had in Xrd that kind of like give him that utility. They also gave him extra, you know, command normals and stuff like that, but I personally just didn't think it was enough. But this version of Axl seems very, very, very complete with this move here. And it basically eradicates the need for the Roman cancel. Now, granted, it is a super, and you can do it at any time off of anything, it seems. It's kind of weird, right? You would think that you would just use a Roman cancel anyway, but they gave us an extra time stop mechanic. So pretty much what this entails is exactly that, like what we exactly just saw here, right? You get to turn like straight hits. You know, maybe he gets extended. Look, he gets extended time, so the enemy just stays there. So essentially, this can be seen as like a better Roman cancel, to be honest, because they don't move. Like in the normal Roman cancels, they pretty much kind of like they float. This, they just stay in place. So this is pretty sizable here, and the damage output he's getting off of that from just anti-airing is just pretty crazy. Which I will note really briefly that the damage output currently in the game, from what I'm seeing, is a lot lower than it was in the previous beta. In the previous beta build, like the damage output was like through the roof, dudes. Like it was actually insane. like Wild Throw doing ridiculous amounts of damage, whatnot. We all know Potemkin Buster, blase blase whoop-de-woo, right? But now it looks like they kind of normalize the damage just a wee bit. Damage is still fairly high, but it's not, it doesn't seem like it's over the top right now. I could be wrong, you know, but this is like my current impressions of that. So yeah, Axl, you with me still? All right, let's get to the next match. All right, Axl, we get the pose really cool. So now we have Kai versus Nago Ryuki. Nice neutral play, good 2H for damage, shock state, good pressure. Still looking like Guilty Gear. Also looks like they've balanced out a good bit of the risk build in this build. Good damage, nice. So already, just watching this kind of confirms some of my suspicions about some of this character's like issues. You know, and granted, it's still early. You know, we still haven't gotten the hands. You know, we still haven't gotten this game in the hands of a lot of other players who are looking to main Nago Ryuki. But you know, some of my concerns about his mobility and like neutral plays it's still a bit concerning. But you know, we can't play yet. We don't have a mass amount of people playing the game yet. I know there's still going to be some great things about him. But right now, Kai's zoning game is looking really strong right now against Nago Ryuki. Here we go. Now, I'm pausing here for a specific reason. This goes to show that it seems like Burst is going to be a lot more active than it was in previous games. Because in Xrd, if you called out your burst with your super, you basically use your iframes to get through the burst and call it out. Boom. They get hit, damage, not much to think about there. But it seems like the burst hit is a lot more active in this game than previous games. Because if this was Xrd, this is like the perfect call out, to be honest with you guys. That is the perfect call out for Ride the Lightning. But it seems like the bursts are just way more active, so I think that's kind of a good thing. If I had to guess, you'd probably have to activate your super a little bit later in order to punish the burst, but we won't know till we actually get our hands on the game. But let's keep pushing forward. Let's see what we find out, yeah? Get back to neutral. Very footsie heavy match between these two characters. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still very concerned about his matchup spread, but we're not there yet. Good punish. And Kai's looking pretty dang solid in Strive, to be honest. Block. Oh my gosh. Meterless. That's a lot of damage to take meterless. That was like 35%, 40%. Jeez, off of just blocking slide. You guys, look at this. So, there's points in these matches where instant block is pretty huge. Or just defend. I'm going to constantly say instant block or just defend. Just for the sake of. But, you know, here we have another just guard on the slide. Now, this is a pretty easy instant block in all the games. This is a pretty easy instant block. You block the first part of Kai's slide. Instant block in the second one is pretty free. There's no thought process behind it. It's pretty easy. Now, the interesting part here is that it seems like they, and I meant to mention this earlier, that I think that they readjusted how instant block pushback works, because it looked like it had some kind of pushback previously, but it wasn't too great. Now it seems like it's functioning like normal instant block. Either way, there's hardly any pushback. And then, boom. Big damage off this punish. And this is meterless, guys. That is meterless damage from Nago Ryuki. So I feel like from looking at this is going to be the biggest part of his game. I feel like you're going to have to probably learn how to instant block like very important things and like learn to punish those things like really, really, really well. So, and I mean, for meterless damage, that was like 30 to 40%. It almost looks like Half-Life, but it's not. It's maybe 35, 40-ish, give or take, somewhere in that ballpark. And then he gets cornered from mid-screen. That's kind of scary. Now, I believe this is pretty much where he's going to shine, is that punch game and that damage that he gets. So let's keep pushing forward. we go. Oh, no big damage. Hey, shock state time. Okay, throw. Good pressure. Remember, Nagaruyuki has no air dash. He does have a command dash on the ground, but his air mobility is very limited. Nice, with the pressure. Nice, well done. His button is just so beefy. But the thing that we're all curious about, the thing that probably got you watching this in the first place, Dragon Install. Kai's Dragon Install input is 214, 214 heavy slash, or quarter circle back heavy slash, but you gotta have low HP, so it's looking roughly about 25% HP you gotta have at the end. I have words for this, but let's push forward and I'll talk about it after. Gotta keep in mind, in the lore, Kai has, he does have Shin's eye. I think that's his left eye. So now Kai is part gear. He's half and half. Kinda like a coffee tree. So it seems like Dragon Install powers up his super and his projectiles. Basically, it seems like it buffs up his special moves because, you know, his big fireball only hit 3 times prior to Dragon Install. So 2, 4, 5, 6 lands a hit, and then I believe Ride the Lightning gets that last hit at the end from this super. Because I believe previously when I've seen Ride the Lightning, it just does like the dash, like it's normal. Now the unfortunate part here is it looks like Nagaruyuki got into Blood Rage and just got punished, unfortunately. Look at Kai. Bruh. Look at me, I'm like part gear now. So yeah, I guess a quick rundown of this match. Just thinking about it again, it's just, it definitely has me concerned about Nagaruyuki's matches. Like I said before, I've definitely been concerned about his matchup spread. Obviously, we need the game in the hands of more players who are interested in playing him so we can kind of see where he kind of falls. This doesn't mean he's bad by any means of the stretch, not even close. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, his punch game is looking like it's going to be on point. He's just... no meter, no Roman cancel required, no tension required. You guys, that's kind of scary. There's only so much to break down here within this matchup in particular, but the biggest thing to note as far as I'm concerned is that Kai still looks like Kai. And that Dragon Install might be a problem. The concerning thing is that Dragon Install with Kai cannot be used at any time, unlike Soul in previous games. Obviously, maybe for lore purposes, it's only when Kai's about to die, he kind of gets this desperation type thing, and maybe that's what it is. But also, maybe if you had it earlier on, he'd probably be like a ridiculous character off rip because you get 50 bar pop Dragon Install, and you know it doesn't seem like there's any kind of penalty. It doesn't seem like he loses any life or loses any meter or loses meter gain. It just seems like he just gets the powered up special moves and stuff like that at the cost of 50 tension, and you know he just gets to play the game. So I'm very curious to see if there even is a timer on it. Doesn't look like there is. You know, Soul doesn't really have a timer that's visible either, but you know, it's also based on how much health he has. If Soul has low HP, then it lasts a lot longer as opposed to if he has like higher HP. Normally you would just go for a combo in Xrd if you really wanted to use it. Like early in Xrd, you would use Dragon Install with Soul to get like combos and do damage and build up another super and basically get a knockdown. From you super, do your combo, get another super, knock them down, you know, and didn't really have to use that at the end of the day, but he had that as an option. This, like I said before, I would love to see them combo it in and see what you can get with it, because it looks like you might be able to do something funky fresh, but we'll see. I don't know the kind of plus frames he gets off of it on activation from a hit. So what I'm getting at here is, like, let's say he hits you with like a 2-piece combo, activate, then he's able to extend again from activation and then slide or end in super or whatever move he can do to like gain a knockdown or gain any kind of extended pressure afterwards, you know. So moving towards Nago Ryuki again, like I said before, it's looking like big damage. But yeah, not too much you guys haven't already heard me talk about in the previous matches with Goichi and Nage. So let's move on. We still have some more matches to take a look at. Let's push forward, shall we? Alright, so here we have Soul versus Zato. Okay, pressure. Something else I want to point out here is that Zato's drill seems to come out and then have this expanded pool. And it looks like the pool is actually still a hitbox. So this pool here still looks like you can get hit by it, which I think is kind of cool. It does kind of add a different dynamic to him. And it does play into the notion of, you know, you want to call out the summons. So it looks to me more now like, and I mean, I could be wrong. He's always been able to do this anyway, but I also could be wrong that, you know, he gets to play this game now even more so than before. Again, don't hold me to it, take it with a grain of salt. Or you can play this game of you try to hit the monster, you take this drill. You try to hit the monster, you get hit by this normal or something like that, and we'll try to counter hit you. This is something that's been a fairly core element of his game, where you kind of bait Eddie into taking hits and then you counter hit them with Zato to do bigger damage or get a better setup or pretty much just get a better counter hit or better situation for yourself. So this is kind of like an example of that. And it just happens so quickly. It's very subtle. So, and there you can see also right here, boom, there it is. So this right here is just making his drill game like, this is definitely adding more utility to drills, because I feel like in XR the drills were only so good. They definitely played their role, but I feel like the drills in XR, like, they just function like they did previously, and it's like, it's not necessarily bad, but like, I feel like this is what we're seeing here is just instantly just better. So let's push forward, see what else we got. Good pressure. Now I'd love to know what that summon is with the scarecrow looking stuff with Eddie. 2H. Ooh, big shark. So this is interesting. They opted to not make this overhead. Normally, no, it could be something here. I mean, later on in the matches, you'll see this get used a little bit more, but normally this is pretty much overhead. So I'm assuming this is the Eddie Dust attack. It doesn't look like it has a lot of block stun, but it not being overhead is a bit shocking. But I guess based on his new pressure, this might be too good. So let's push forward. There's a lot of air dash floating here from Zato. Crash. Drops the conversion, unfortunately. I'm so happy to see Zato get played. Now this move, so this is the move I'm really concerned about. When we have Eddie come out here with like the multiple hands, it's not looking like it's an overhead or anything like that. Looks like it just puts you in a lot of block stun. That could be the kick follow-up, because it is multi-hitting, and that's kind of like the shtick with the kick Eddie attack, is it tends to be multi-hit, as I mentioned before, like the buzzsaw or the reel in from or the reel in from Accent Core. So definitely concerned to see what this is play on. Now, once again, going back to something I mentioned before about the instant blocks. Boom. So here we have an instant block here again from Soul. Is it just guard? So Zato's string is 2K, 2D, or crouching kick, crouching dust. And that dust got instant blocked. And then Soul opts for a close slash and punishes. So again, it's looking definitely like instant blocking is definitely shaving off frames as usual. And it's looking like it's just going to make punishes it's pretty standard from what it seems. Arc Systems definitely made it seem as if like instant block throw was going to be like the punish meta. But it's looking like some things have changed since that statement. And again, you can just go back and go watch the video I made on the match analysis video that I made on the Fenrich match with Tomo. And you'll see like Fenrich instant block and try to throw things as opposed to actually use normals to punish. So I'm really wondering how much. It's I don't know, it's pretty uncanny to me. Like things just keep changing with this game. Like 1 minute we're seeing one thing and then the next we're seeing more. So it definitely goes to show that they've been thinking about feedback and changing things up, as they've been, moving forward within development. So regardless, let's keep going. Let's see what else we get to see here. Jump kick.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Pressure. Ooh. Combos. Don't get hit. Now, you're probably wondering yourself, why did I do so much damage? Don't forget the passive risk build, okay, guys? Do not forget this up here. Soul's risk gauge is building, so that damage output will be higher than normal. There's the counter hit. Looking like another 40 to 50% combo there. Meter positive, so this, I'm gonna just say this, I cannot stress this enough. I feel like this is gonna play a very pivotal role in quite a few characters' game plans. And that's getting the wall break and getting, the positive tension pulse. And it's looking like it's like a, previously it didn't look like this, but it's looking more like a passive regen now. Like, he's not even moving forward really, and it's still just building up meter. Tension pulse still coming back. That's so huge, friends. That's so huge. And it lasts for a certain period of time, so that's still something to note. That is still something to note. So getting the wall break could be very pivotal in finishing matches on your next hit. Maybe you might be able to close out with the super next time, or Roman cancel combo, or be able to bait someone to burst with Roman cancel. This is just, the sky is the limit in that regard. Vortex. I don't know about that, buddy. Ooh. VR. Oh, no, we get pressure. Good burst. Necessary. This has me a little, because Soul's uppercut not having that much iframes at the top. It's kind of scary. Makes me wonder about his anti-air game with uppercut. But then again, it depends on how much iframes are in between each version, because they are different between the slash and heavy slash. They've always had different iframes. The H uppercut has always had more invincibility frames as opposed to the slash. So my guess is this is probably the slash version because it's hitting a lot higher up. So nice. Good reversal throw. Now we see the first triple drill. That is very interesting to me. I'm not sure how that works, or if that is like a Eddie summon attack. Yes, I think that might be the H follow-up. Now, when you summon with Eddie, with H, he summons empty. As I mentioned before, our punch, kick, slash, hard slash. They all do something. Dust is most likely going to be the jumping shark attack. I forgot to mention that earlier, but most likely that's most likely what it is. And it's looking like instead of him having big drill, for his unblockables, it's looking like you're getting like the drill wave as the H follow-up. So that's kind of interesting for pressure. I'm sure that all the hits, if I had to guess, they had to be low because drill's always low. So that might set up his unblockables still if he has them. It's kind of hard to say with this footage here, but he's looking really good, to be honest with you. But let's continue. We're almost done here. Ooh. Safe from that dust. Kirby Bob's Cemetery. That's the new move here from Soul. Big ups to Eric Tate. But yeah, so Heavy Mob Cemetery is basically his PBB from Xr's Dragon install. Basically, he has another command grab in the air, an Xr, which is basically Heavy Mob Cemetery. It's basically just, but it seems like they made it into a super now. So it makes me kind of curious. Does Soul have, if I had to guess, Soul has Dragon install? Hard to say. At least right now, because we haven't seen it, and it wasn't in the previous build. He just had regular Tyrant Rave, but he's got another super now. So makes me wonder if his Dragon install is going to be done at like a lower HP, similar to Kai. So far so good. Once again, I'm definitely grateful for GameSpot and Eric Tay. Big ups to him and ArcSys for giving us this footage to review, because I was prepared to just wait for the beta. But we got more stuff. It's like Guilty Gear Strive is the gift that keeps on giving, So that's going to do it for me for now. I do believe that's pretty much all I got to say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed these matches. I'll provide a link below in the description for you guys to go check it out. You can watch it yourself without my commentary over it. So if you just want to watch, feel free. Also, a lot of people who watch this channel, they are not subscribed. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Follow the channel, hit the notification bell. Stay up to date. I'm going to be covering Strive like crazy. I see it. I'm on it. I want to know. I want to share with you guys my thoughts, my feelings, and hopefully we can continue having healthy discussions in the comments. Because let me tell you, you guys, really briefly, you guys have definitely been like, it's been really good, constructive stuff here in these comments. So hopefully we can keep that going and keep the positivity high for Strive. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. And, we got to leave every video out on the same note, right? We got to say deuces, gooses, right? No?